Laurie.
Hi.
I really enjoyed your talk on mentoring youth with disabilities.
Thanks,
It was one of the most interesting for me because it was a new field for me to learn about. I wanted to ask you a little bit about programs that include youth with disabilities, because it may be a group that we're not currently serving. So what would you tell programs if this is a group that they haven't typically served? What would you tell them that they need to know to make those programs effective for the youth?
Well, probably the first point would be that it would be good to know who you are serving, because I'm betting that a lot of programs actually are serving more children and youth with disabilities than they might realize that they're serving. So kind of having a way to talk to children and youth and their families about that is probably a good thing. And then the second, I think, really important point is to just treat it as a functional issue. That it's not about diagnosis or label, that it's really just about, hey, is there something, some kind of challenge or something about you that's diverse, that's different, that probably would be helpful for us to know as a program. Like, for instance, we've had youth who have some trouble reading. We've had youth who might have some kind of health problem that nobody knows about, but it would be important for the mentor to know about. Or we have youth who sometimes go through times where they feel sad or down, and those are the kinds of things we want to make sure that we understand, so we can make sure that you have the best experience you can with your mentor.
Great, that's very helpful. Thank you. I really enjoyed hearing about your study, where it was the first randomized study of a program with youth with disabilities, and the impacts were amazing. It was what we would all dream about, to have those kind of outcomes. So can you tell me, if you had an option to have a further study, how would you design that? What would you study exactly?
Well, we did this study, and it was really the first in a small study, but to just kind of ask the question, is mentoring effective for youth with disabilities? And it's one of those things where I think we all thought, well, yeah, it's effective, helpful for children and youth in general. It's going to be helpful for this group. But we thought that it needed to be shown, and particularly for children and youth who had more significant disabilities. And so we were able to do that. And in that study, what we did was we matched youth to mentors who had disabilities. And we did that because we wanted youth to have a chance to spend time with somebody who had some shared lived experience. Sometimes for kids disability might be the relevant thing, sometimes it might be race or ethnicity, but in that particular study we matched kids with mentors with similar kinds of functional challenges, because they were going to be going out into the community together, and many of these youth had significant physical disabilities, and they never really had a chance to kind of get out and see how somebody lives and works and drives cars and that kind of stuff. And so we did that, and as you pointed out, we got some pretty nice effects with that study. But I think the question still remains, and it's really the same question for matching for mentors and children and youth of the same racial and ethnic background, or really other kinds of lived experience. When is it important to have a mentor who's got that shared experience, and when isn't it? So I think I would be interested, and actually we've just gotten some funding that we're going to be able to do another randomized study. We're going to be able to randomly assign young people to have either a mentor with a disability, a mentor without a disability, and then we'll have a control group. And the youth with the mentors will be doing the same things. We'll be asking the mentors to support them in the same way, and we're just going to see how it works. And it's important to understand how successful it is, what the impacts are, but we're also really interested in understanding kind of, does the process change? Is the mentoring relationship any different as a function of that? And if it is different, what are the circumstances when it's different and when it's not?
That's very exciting. We all look forward to hearing the results. Great, thank you.